Hi everyone, it's Gelsina. Welcome back to my page. Today we'll be doing a 25-minute full body class. So let's begin in a seated position. Have your spine tall. Close your eyes and just take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's now open the eyes and reach the arms up overhead. Bring the palms together and breathe. You can interlace the fingers and press the palms up. Just breathing in and out through the nose, feeling the stretch of the spine. Now let's take the arms at shoulder height, reaching the arms out, and then we'll reach them up. So incorporate your breathing here. Bring them above and out to the side. Let's come back to center now, arms out, and then we'll bring the hands together in front of us and then reach the arms back. Let's do this a couple of times, just incorporating your breathing. Noticing where you feel the stretch in the chest and the spine. And then taking the arms forward in small circles, let's do some just circles with the arms. Continuing to breathe. And then we'll go backwards. Coming back to center, reach the fingertips up, press the palms out, breathe. Where do you feel the stretch? Now take your right arm underneath the left, and maybe you can interlace the arms and reach the hands up. Should be a nice stretch in the back. And then release, and we'll do the opposite. So left arm comes underneath the right. Interlace the arms, reach the hands up. Take the arms back out, and then reach to the right. Dropping the right hand, reach the left arm up and over, keeping your sit bones on the ground. Just breathe. Come back to center, and we'll go right to the other side. Breathing into the side body. Make your way back to center. Arms are still out. And then we'll take our arms behind us. Palms are facing back. You can either stay like this or maybe interlace the hands and lift the shoulders, lift the arms up. Breathe into the chest. And then release the arms. And let's come onto our hands and knees. Let's push back to child's pose. Really reach your arms out in front of you. Feel the stretch all the way through the upper back. You can bring your forehead to the ground. And then let's lift back up, and we'll come onto our forearms and come into a forearm plank. Try to keep your hips in line with the body. Then lower down. Bring the palms down and come into a cobra pose. Lower, and then we'll push back to child's pose. Just beginning to warm up the body, let's come back to our forearm plank. Continue breathing. Lower down. Reach the arms back this time and lift the chest. Inhale and exhale, lower. Let's lift up and back to child's pose. Let's come back to our forearm plank. And we'll hold in forearm plank for 10 breaths, making sure your hips stay in line with the body. Remember that you are strong and nothing lasts forever. From here, let's lift the hips high into a forearm downward dog or a dolphin pose. Notice where you feel the stretch. Maybe bend the knees if you need to. Breathe. Let's lower the knees down and come back to child's pose for a moment. Let's come back to our forearm plank. Continue breathing. Interlace the fingers if you'd like, and then we'll shift forward and back. So inhale, shift forward, exhale, push back. We'll do this 10 times total, using your breath and the strength of your arms. Let's do one more, and then we'll shift onto our right forearm, making the forearm parallel to the top of the mat. Stack your feet. Lift your hips. Reach your arm up, and then bring your arm overhead. From here, we'll lift our left leg and then bring the knee and elbow together 5 times. Hold the leg high, and then we'll do 10 pumps. Try to point the toe. Keep the hips high. Then let's reach the right arm overhead and lower down. We'll come into a side stretch here, so bring your legs to one side and reach your right arm up and over to the left. That should feel really good. Let's come back to our forearm plank. Interlace the fingers. Find a nice strong stance. And from here, we'll lift one foot and then the other 10 times. So really try to point your toe as you lift the leg. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your forearm stance, and then we'll shift to the left side just like we did on our right. Stack the feet. Hips are high. Reach the arm overhead. Reach the right leg up, and then we'll do knee to elbow 5 times. This time, keep your right leg high, and we'll just do 10 pumps. Keep the hips high. And then before lowering, lift up and then lower the hips down. Just like the other side, bring your feet to the right side and reach your left arm up and over. Great job. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Just to stretch out the spine, let's do cat pose, round the spine, and then cow pose, opening the chest. Going at your own pace here, just breathing with each movement. Come back to a neutral position. Reach your right leg back and your left arm forward. Find your balance. Breathe. Now let's open the left arm to the left side and swing the right leg to the right side, keeping both high. Breathe. Come back to center, and then lower back down. Feel free to take a cat position or cow to stretch out the spine, and then let's go right to the other side. So left leg back, right arm forward. Breathe. And then open the arm and the leg, trying to keep them both straight. Find your balance and your breath. Come back to center. And then lower back down. Round the spine, release. And then tuck the toes and push back to downward dog. Feel free to walk the feet in place or come up on the toes and then push down on the heels. Relax your head. And then lower the knees down. So we're going to just continue this movement 10 times. Lower the knees and then come back to downward dog. Breathing with each movement. Let's do one more. And then from here, we will bend the knees and just tap one at a time. We'll do this 10 times. Really breathing. Pause, and then let's do another 10. Great job. From here, let's keep the legs hovering and just twist to the right, coming onto our right hand, opening, and then twist to the left, coming onto the left hand. We'll do this 5 times. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, push back to downward dog, and breathe. Relax the head. Walk the hands towards the feet, bend the legs, and take a hold of opposite elbow. Let the upper body be heavy. Release the spine. Release the arms and slowly roll all the way up to standing. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Well done. Let's come into the middle of the mat. The legs are far apart, parallel to one another. And then fold at the hips and just come halfway. Arms are parallel to the ground. Breathe. Opening the hips here. And then we'll bend our right leg and come onto a side lunge. Keep the left leg straight and then walk over to the opposite side. So try to stay low, and we'll do this a few more times. You can try having your arms out and just really using the strength of your legs here. Feel free to breathe through the mouth. Come back to center now, and we'll just turn the feet outward, keep the legs bent, and come into our goddess or just squat pose. Could try keeping the arms high or bring them out to the side, whatever you're comfortable with. Just really breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I like to incorporate the arms, bringing the palms together as I inhale and exhale as I push out. Imagining I'm really bringing positive energy around and inside of me. Reach the arms up. Just another breath here. And then drop the arms and we'll straighten the legs and fold forward. Let's now walk our hands to the top of the mat, frame our right foot. Come into a lunge. Just notice how that feels. And then we'll lower our back knee down. Reach the arms up and bend back if that's okay today. Just breathing into the heart and the chest. And then lower the hands down. Step back to a three-legged dog. Reach the leg up. Inhale, bring the knee to chest. Exhale, push out. Let's do this a few times and really try to stretch the leg up when you reach out. This time, let's pause, keep the knee into the chest, and we'll just tap one elbow and then the other 10 times, breathing and staying strong in the arms. Let's pause after 10 times, and then we'll come into our pigeon pose, bringing the right leg parallel to the top of the mat. Open the chest, walk the hands back, really take a deep breath into the heart here, and then walk the hands forward and fold over. Focus on your breath here and notice where you feel different. Where is the stretch reaching in your body? Let's come right back up to downward dog. Release the head. Step your left foot forward and come into your lunge on this side. Lower the back knee and then reach the arms up and back. Breathe into the chest. Lower the hands down, and then we'll step back to our three-legged dog, raising the left leg high and bring it into the chest. Just a couple of times here, really focusing on reaching that leg high when it's in the downward dog position. And then from here, get ready to hold the knee into the chest, and then we'll tap opposite elbows 10 times, breathing, staying strong. Keep the knee into the chest, and then we'll come into pigeon pose on this side. Walking the hands back just like you did on the other side, opening the chest, opening your heart to the world. And then walk the hands forward and fold down. Let's come back up and we'll swing our right leg forward. So we're on our sit bones, having the legs bent. Keep the spine tall and lift the legs. Palms come together. And we'll just tap one foot down and then the other. Let's try for 10 times. You could bring the arms up overhead. From here, we'll come down to a low boat and then lift back up. So low boat and lift back up. This one's a tough one for me, so just stick with it. Let's do one more, and then we'll come back to our toe taps. Reach the arms 10 times. And then from here, let's try to grab the feet or the toes, and maybe you can come into a boat pose. You don't always have to hold the feet. It's just a nice challenge. Find your breath. Let it guide you. And then we'll release the hold, release the legs, and slowly roll down onto the spine just for a moment here. Reach the arms overhead. Bend the knees into the chest, and we'll do 10 rounds of bringing everything in, knee to forehead. Imagine bringing positive energy in and around you. Let's now come to a diagonal with our legs, and we'll do our hundreds. So we're just pumping the arms. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Really keep the arms strong and the legs strong here. Okay, from here, take the hands behind you and we'll just do our bicycles 10 times. You should really feel your abdomen begin to warm up here. And then we'll come back to our knee to forehead 10 times. Reaching out and bringing everything in. So good. Just one more. And then let's come back to our hundreds. I know that your abs are on fire. You can stay with your legs straight at an angle or bend them in. Keep the arms strong, really pumping as you breathe. And then back to our bicycles, just 10 times here. Really twisting with each breath. And then bring the knees and forehead together and slowly lower down. Straighten the legs and the arms. Let your breathing just come back to natural. Maybe stretch the arms overhead. Let's bend the legs, push into the feet, and push into the palms. Lift the hips, breathe. Chin comes towards your chest. You always have the option to interlace the fingers underneath you. Lower back down. So feel free to repeat that pose, or if you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, we'll push up into full wheel pose. Opening the chest here and breathing. Slowly, let's lower all the way back down. And maybe just bring your knees to one side and then to the other, keeping your lower back on the ground. Let's bring the knees into the chest here. Straighten the legs and release them down. Let's prepare for fish pose. So bring the fingers in close to the body. Push up on the elbows. Lift the chest and bring the head towards the ground. Deep breaths here. This is my favorite pose. So good for improving your posture. Push into the elbows, look down, and slowly roll the spine all the way down to release. Take the legs apart and just be comfortable. You may want to bring the knees into the chest. That might feel really nice. And we'll come into happy baby pose. So keep your lower back on the ground and just bend the knees outward. I like to straighten the legs after a while, but you can stay wherever you're comfortable. Bring the knees back into the chest, take the arms out, and let the knees fall to the left side. Twisting, looking to the right. Just let your breathing be natural. Let's come back to center and let the knees fall to the right. Look to the left. Come back to center. And just come into a comfortable position. Legs are falling outward. The palms are facing up. Just allow the body to feel really comfortable against the ground. Close the eyes. I always like to remind myself to release the tongue from the roof of the mouth and make sure I'm not clenching the jaw. And just allow yourself to be in this space, to be in a peaceful, energetic bubble. Give yourself this time to be relaxed. Let's begin to bring some movement to the toes and the fingers. Maybe stretch the arms overhead, stretching the whole body. Bring the knees into the chest. And slowly make your way up to a seated position. Have the spine tall. Relax the hands on the knees and just take a deep breath here. Close your eyes for a moment and take notice of how you feel. Let's reach the arms overhead just one last time, bringing all the positive energy into our heart. And we'll end our class here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it was not an easy workout. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.